and hear your Ujjayi sound and steady stream of it's got that snowy, staticky, watery sound. We can get it powerfully steady. The steadiness of the breath will perhaps do us more good than the forcefulness of breath. So powerfully steady. And with that powerfully steady breath, I'm going to start to go for a 10 in, 10 out. We're just going to do two rounds. And now we'll begin a round of Kapalabhati, short, sharp exhalations. We'll do about 30 pumps. Begin that. And 2 more rounds, 10 in, 10 out. We'll move into shoelace, right over left. Inhaling the right hand down, the left hand lifting it away from the sit bones. I'm moving into side bend, exhaling the right hand pull, the right side of shoulders, shoulder blades pulling, engaging. The left side of the ribs spreading, reaching, expanding. Now your next exhale, hooking this left elbow over the right thigh, twisting toward the thigh. And then we unwind. We'll switch sides. Left over right. Side bend. Inhale the left hand to the ground, the right arm up. And exhale, pull with the left, reach with the right. And exhaling, hooking that right elbow over the left thigh. And inhale, unwind. Unwind the legs. Would we lie back? Grab a block or whatever object you'll use between the legs. We'll begin with that. So object, legs vertical. Inhale into the low back. Squeeze the object. Exhale. Lift up through the middle of the foot. Flexing the feet, drawing the littlest toes down toward your hip bone. Reaching up through the inner middle of the foot. Pull low belly down. We'll do two more like so. Inhale. I'm describing a foot position that begins internal rotation of the hip. Squeeze the object, exhale. Lengthen through the legs. Get lengthy through the inner legs as you draw the littlest toe toward your hip bone. Reach up through the middle of the foot, the inner middle of the foot. Let's do another. Inhale. And squeeze the object. Exhale. Feel the length of the leg. The inner leg lengthens. The outer leg engages. Little toe reaches, pulls toward the hip. Pull the low belly in. All right, now inhale, letting up on some of those pressures. Squeeze. And now exhale, lift the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. Flexing the feet. So making the soles of feet face the sky. Pull low belly down. Inhale, letting the head down, relaxing the leg efforts. Just staying with that powerfully steady breath. Squeeze the object. Exhale. Lengthening through the inner legs. Engaging through the outer legs. Those are the shin muscles. The tibial muscles. The outside of the leg. Pull the low belly down. Pardon me. Inhale the head down. Take an exhale here. There's one more part. As you inhale, lift the head and the shoulders off the ground. Squeeze the object. Exhale, lean or reach the elbows toward the right thigh. Lengthen through the inner legs, engage through the outer legs. Reach up through the middle of the foot. Pull the low belly down. Inhale, come back center. Keep the shoulder blades up. Squeeze. Exhale. Lead the elbows toward the left thigh. Reach through the inner legs. Engage through the outer legs. Little toe, outer ankle. Pull low belly down. Last one. Inhale, come back to center. Shoulder blades up, head up. Squeeze thing. And then exhale, lift elbows to sky, inner legs to sky, and engage little toe toward the hip bone. Feel the outer legs turn on. Reach up through the middle of the foot, inner middle of the foot. Pull low belly down. And inhale, set the head down, the feet down. We'll keep the block. Adjust if you need that block to be contacting a different part of your leg. It can be a little closer to the knee for bridge. And then adjust feet so they're hip width. And on your next exhale, curl the tailbone, the buttock up, the spine up, entering bridge directly in. In bridge, working with the block to involve the inner leg just as much as the outer leg. This inner and outer leg, they complement and work with each other to give us stability in the knee, to give us that ability to turn and spiral our body, to pivot. As you're engaging the inner leg with that object, can you sense lengthening the inner leg? So that we're not simply squeezing down around the object, halting the movement, the flow of energy and blood and interstitial fluids, but that we're engaging and opening up the body to encourage the movement of energy through that area. So how we close down on the object or open up around the object will influence how energy moves around the pelvis. And of course, this is an area that we need energy, blood, etc. to move freely around. Okay. Give it one more squeeze, 3 more breaths. The movement that you feel around the prop, around the pelvis, around the abdomen, does it reach the feet? Is it connected at all to the feet? Do the feet have anything to do with this? How about the abdomen? Does the abdomen have a connection to what's going on with the legs, with the prop, with the pelvis, with the knees? Reach through the inner legs, reach through the tops of the legs. And then we'll release, letting down the bridge. Keep the block for one more moment between the legs. Again, if you need to switch it, switch the thickness around, that's fine. Bend the right knee. So the left leg is straightened, we'll say toward the sky. The right leg is bent. And then use your triceps, use your arms to guide turning to your right side, like a lying spinal twist. There's a block between your legs. Lying spinal twist with a block. Once you've reached your left arm out, engage the block with your legs, deepen breath. And as you're exhaling, use that block as a fulcrum. Reach out through the heel. And begin just the slightest internal rotation of that left leg. Internal rotation is like you're turning your toes ever so slightly toward the ground. And by slightly, I mean maybe a millimeter, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. Because your right leg is bent, resting on the ground like a tripod or a kickstand. You can nudge your outer right foot down into the earth. Now both legs are internally rotating. You may discover this adds quite a bit of change in your guts, your viscera. Bend the left knee, return to your spine. We'll do the same on the other side. Left leg bent, right leg straight, straighten towards sky. Then I use my arms to carefully turn onto the left side. My legs are still sandwiching a block. Reach the right arm out. It's a lying spinal twist. There's just a block to help us work these little bits of rotation. And our first move is reaching out through the right heel. Again, the right leg is straight. The left leg is bent. So a little more ground, a broader base of contact on the left side. And just beginning a subtle internal rotation of that right leg. So internal in this case means the toes will ever so slightly turn toward the ground. And feeling that left foot that's resting on the ground, you can feel the outer ankle is on the ground. If you nudge that left foot into the ground, you'll create yet another little bit of rotation. That can be really relieving in some people's low backs to use that object and to move the legs internally around that object. And then bend the right knee. Remove the object and we'll press up. And use some dolphin. We've been doing a few rounds of dolphin and variations lately. So we'll set the elbows under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. There we go. And exhale the knees off the ground. We set the arms to be steady, the shoulders to be in a steady relationship to the neck. So when we press up into dolphin, the ribs is kind of moving inside the shoulder blades, almost like a rib ball in the shoulder girdle socket. So if your shoulders or arms kind of moved and swam around, and now they're kind of closer to your neck, reset. So the arms are steady, they're fixed, they're attached to the ground. And then we can move the ribs inside the arms. Lengthen the ribs toward the sky. Can you feel the ribs lightening and lengthening away from the armpit, the shoulder, the arm bones? Lengthen through the front of the ribs. Do this without negotiating that broadness across the upper back. And play with the steadiness of the breath, with sound as your guide. Hear the steadiness of sound. Hear how the inhale and the exhales sound similar. And rest the knees down to the ground. Okay. When we stand, we'll be doing some one-legged things. You might need to be near an object or a wall. Standing splits, grab right foot, both hands. Grab the foot on either side of the foot. Press. The most common way to press is almost exclusively through the heel. Press through the heel, press through the midfoot, press through the forefoot, press through the whole foot. So you're using the muscles of the foot to give support to the ankle joint. So if you just kind of shove the heel out, the ankle doesn't have support. Okay, as you're holding that foot, we're gonna be here a moment. Reach through the big toe ball mound. And then like you're distributing your reach, your pressure, go all the way through those other ball mounds until you get to the littlest toe ball mound. See if I can do this with you. And as you distribute that pressing through all the ball mounds, you'll start to feel some places you can support the ankle. Grab the right foot with the right hand on the inside. Draw the left hand back. Reach it away from the right hand. Release. Inhale, grab your left foot with both hands. Grab on the outside and the inside. Okay. So when you press that leg forth, you can still do all of this ankle work with a knee slightly bent. Again, the common kind of way to approach this pose is to shove the heel forward in what I presume is an attempt to straighten the leg. Rather than pushing the heel forward at the expense of ankle support. Now my ankle's just a collapsed hinge. Sure, I get a tissue stretch on the back of the leg and knee, but my ankle it's just a collapsed hinge. Now you'll start to press through the big toe ball mound, supporting your ankle again with your foot muscles. Then you can start to walk the pressure, reaching through the littlest toe ball mound, into the inner toe ball mound. What are you pressing against? Your hand. Okay. So now you can feel more of this rotational part of the foot. Pressure on the outside. Pressure through the inner ball mounds. The foot is just too dynamic, complex, and diaphragmatic to treat it like a rudder or a hinge. It's just too amazing to treat so. Okay, left hand grabs the inside of the left foot, and then we'll reach the standing alternate twist. The right hand away from the left hand. Okay, now you got a good hold on that left foot. Feel into the right foot. You And feel that weight shifting from the outer ball mound into the inner ball mound. As those foot muscles, arch foot muscles, support the ankle, you can make some significant turns around that hip. And release. And then we'll stand at the top of our mat. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Exhale, fold. Okay. Inhale, left foot back, lunge. We're going directly to where the knee is up and the heel is up. Adjust the foot. So the ball mounds, left leg. Again, I can engage and involve the foot, not to just squeeze down on the ground, but feel where the foot muscles support the ankle. There'll probably be another registry of inner hip sensation. Here too, notice if I just reach out through the heel, if I let my heel drift back, I collapse the ankle. Now it's become a collapsed hinge. So I need that forefoot, I need that propulsion. And those foot muscles, that's that trampoline, that dome of support. And I can feel it moving my ankle, my shin, my torso. Inhale, place the hands down. Exhale, we step back. Here's another instance. Pause right here in plank. So this is one of those places, feel the feet, the toe pads, the ball mounds. I know we're all going to have different amounts of toe pad and ball mound contact. Inflammation, arthritis, I get it. But when you feel the toe pads and the ball mounds push, feel that dome and that support. The feet are not just rusty hinges down there. The toes aren't just flaps. Push the earth. And feel the actual, there's like propulsion forward. Lower down. Inhale, cobra. And then exhaling, when we lower, hands under chest, we're pressing back. Use that toe pad, that ball mound, that pressure, that propulsion. Between the foot and the hand, the hips peak up, downward dog. Let's do the lunge, other side. Just try these things out. Inhale the left foot forward. The lunge is knee up, heel up. But what I'm wanting to just offer us today is to unhinge your foot, to give it that dynamic, dome-like, supported, propulsive. Right? The foot is the place where I can start to interact and move about the world. You'll feel the liveliness, you'll feel the kind of pulsing, ready to go somewhere. It starts in the foot. And it may even feel so much lighter to you in your lunge. Inhale, we'll bring the hands down to the ground. Use that propulsion of that right foot. It's a little light bound. It's It's a step forward fold. Inhale, stand, reaching up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll do one more, just a little bit more quickly. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale the right foot back, lunge. Place the hands down. Exhale, step the left foot back, plank. Here's another instance. The feet press, the palms press back. Lowering. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Use the toes, the forefeet. Lunge. Inhale the right foot forward. Okay. That left foot is propelling you forward. And bring the hands down. Exhale. Step the left foot forward. And use the forefoot. Use that kind of bound, that trampoline, that dome of inhale. Draw arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, a few extras. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, fold. If your hands don't go to the ground, feel free to bend the knees or use blocks. But I would recommend have the hands down, and I really mean the hands down as in the palms down, the hands down, the fingers down, but mostly the palms down. And then elevate the heels. So we're folded, palms down, and the heels begin to raise. When we lower the heels down, step both feet back, inhaling. Yes, both feet back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Okay. I just want you to step into a symmetric stance, a wide stance. Doesn't matter which leg. Whatever works best for your orientation. So I have my feet about 3 or 4 feet apart. I'll be folding. And you get a nice view here of your insteps. So if we got to play yesterday, we're kind of rocking and getting into the instep, and we're going to play right here just with a simple weight shift. You can feel the weight in the big toe ball mound. And of course you can distribute your weight into the outer toe ball mound, the little toe. Yes, my heel is down. And as you're shifting your weight, pause where you feel the ankle best supported. It's a purely subjective discovery. It's going to depend on your ankles or where you even perceive your ankle to be. So just somewhere between the heel bone and the shin bone, you'll find some ankle bone, some ankle matter. And then inhale, heel toe the feet together. And I just want you to place your hands at the part of your mat that you are using as the top. Step the feet to the back of the mat. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhaling, downward dog. Turbo dog, bend elbows. And the tops of the shoulders broaden. Feel for that. The shoulder blades move out. Almost like a catcher's mitt kind of moves, spirals out to catch an outside pitch. Okay, both shoulder blades. Feel them move out. The broadness is, to me, it's unmistakable. It clears the traps from the neck. All right. Then, give that a rest for a moment. I don't know if you'll want a block. We're just going to set up a little bit of turn signal. If we're starting it from the ground, I'm going to stagger my legs. So in this case, I've got my right leg forward, my left knee down. Okay. Setting my left shin to tricep. And this can be a really nice way to just start to work the hip and the back part of this move. Let me turn another way for you. Okay, so still my right foot is forward and my left leg is backward. Okay. I know it may not look like much, but it's a pretty rad forward fold, and I like that. If I don't want to put a lot of weight on my hands, you can work a ton of the inner leg stuff from turn signal. And then if you really wanted to go turn signal, that's fine. And start to rest that left shin on the left tricep, walking the right leg forward. So there's quite a bit of option if you're not ready to put weight on your wrists. Okay. Let's give that right side a try. Let me look with you. If you need to see something again, just wave a hand, and there you go. That's it. There you go. Okay, so if you're not bearing weight on the hands, it's a forward fold. It's a staggered forward fold. You're having to work those inner legs like at the twining vine moves we do. Okay. And then we'll release. Stepping back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. Okay, if you're going into turbo dog, as we're heading into the other side, turn signal, you can begin by lightly jumping your feet around your left hand. Okay. Then we can make those placements, right shin and right arm, left foot staggered forward. So even if I remain in fold, it's still a great way to start to orient and work with the left leg. There's something I get a lot of value out of, which is feeling a pose in myriad configurations, vertical, upside down, on the ground, sideways. It builds this map of how the pose can be brought cohesively together. So if you don't have a lot of start on turn signal, what happens if we orient just toward the earth and work it that way? So the left foot's forward, the right foot's back. Just give it another moment. And then we'll step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. All right. When we set our knees down, we'll have a seat in straddle. Forward fold. Okay. We're going to work our wrist relief purely from the internal side. So we're not going to do a physical manipulation of the body. But as you're inhaling in and between the shoulders, exhale, feel for the shoulder opening, the elbow, as if this breath was flooding down the arm line through the wrist. And feel the wrist open and the thumb joints open. And just keeping the breath continuous, feel the index space opening, releasing, and the middle finger, and the ring, and the littlest finger. The things we're playing with today in the foot applies to the hand as well. The hand and the foot we can feel for and create a dome of support so the wrist doesn't become a hinge, a collapsed hinge, so that it becomes a domed, arched, supportive touch point for our body weight to transfer through. You know, we know this from all the architecture is, you know, weight transfers through a dome much differently than through an angle. Right? And then we'll walk the legs together, lie back, Shavasana. bend knees. We'll turn to a side. And we'll press up. All right. Namaste.